I lived near a jungle. It was a place full of wonders and mysteries, where every day felt like a new adventure waiting to unfold. The trees were tall and lush, their leaves whispering secrets to those who would listen. It was big and green and mysterious. The jungle was alive with the sounds of chirping birds, rustling leaves, and the occasional roar of a distant animal. It was a place where imagination ran wild, and every corner held a new discovery. But I wasn't scared, though. I had Leo. Leo was more than just a lion. He was my protector, my confidant, and my best friend. With him by my side, I felt invincible.
Playfully roar.
Leo was a lion, but he wasn't just any lion. He had a golden mane that shone brightly in the sunlight and eyes that sparkled with mischief and kindness. But not just any lion. Leo had a heart as big as the jungle itself. He was brave, loyal, and always ready for an adventure. Leo was Max's best friend. They did everything together. From exploring the dense foliage to playing hide-and-seek among the trees, their bond was unbreakable. They explored the jungle's edge. Every day was a new journey, filled with laughter and excitement. They would climb trees, chase butterflies, and discover hidden paths. They shared sandwiches under the mango tree. It was their favorite spot, where they would sit for hours, talking about their dreams and plans for the future. They even had their secret handshake. It was a special bond that only they understood, a symbol of their friendship.
One sunny afternoon, I was playing with Leo. The sun was shining brightly, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. We were throwing a stick for Leo to fetch. He loved this game, and I loved watching him run with such joy and enthusiasm. I threw the stick far. It soared through the air, glinting in the sunlight before landing with a soft thud. It landed near a girl sitting under a tree. She looked up, surprised as the stick landed near her feet. She had long black hair and bright, curious eyes. She seemed to be about my age, and there was something about her that intrigued me.
She was Lila, a girl from the village. She had a warm smile that made me feel instantly at ease. A girl from the village, she had a story to tell. A story that would change our lives forever. And she had a story to tell. A story of friendship, courage, and the magic of the jungle.
Have you heard of Ebon Valley?
Lila asked, her eyes wide with excitement. Max and Leo shook their heads. Lila loved stories and legends.
It's a secret valley deep within the jungle. Legend has it that it holds a magical flower. It can heal any wound and cure any illness.
Max was doubtful but intrigued. A magical flower? In their jungle? Leo seemed interested too, tilting his head and listening intently.
But Ebon Valley is guarded by the keeper of the valley. No one who's gone looking for it has ever returned.
Max felt a shiver run down his spine. Could the legend be true? The next morning, Max couldn't shake off Lila's story. It lingered in his mind like a whisper in the wind, refusing to be ignored. A magical flower that could heal anything? It sounded like something out of a fairy tale, yet the conviction in Lila's voice made him believe it could be real. He had to see it for himself. The thought of such a powerful flower filled him with a sense of purpose he hadn't felt in a long time. And he knew just the brave companion for this adventure. Leo, his loyal lion friend, had always been by his side through thick and thin.
Ready for an adventure, Leo? Max asked, his voice tinged with excitement and a hint of nervousness.
Max asked, his eyes sparkling with excitement. He could already feel the thrill of the unknown calling to him. Leo, sensing the adventure, rubbed his head against Max's leg and purred. The bond between them was unbreakable, forged through countless shared experiences. The jungle was alive with sound. Monkeys chattered, their calls echoing through the dense foliage. Birds sang melodious tunes and insects buzzed in a harmonious symphony. It was as if the jungle itself was welcoming them. But as they ventured deeper, a strange silence descended. The lively sounds of the jungle faded away, replaced by an eerie stillness. The air grew heavy, and the sunlight struggled to penetrate the thick canopy. It felt as though they had stepped into another world, one filled with mystery and hidden dangers. Thorny bushes tore at their clothes, leaving small scratches on their skin. Each step forward was a test of their resolve. Hidden streams soaked their shoes, making the ground slippery and treacherous. Yet, they pressed on, driven by the hope of finding the magical flower. But Max and Leo pressed on, their friendship giving them courage. They knew that together, they could face any challenge the jungle threw at them. Finally, after what felt like hours, they reached a small clearing. Max's heart raced with anticipation. Could this be where the magical flower was hidden? In the center of the clearing, bathed in a soft, ethereal glow, was the flower. It was more beautiful than Max had ever imagined, its petals shimmering with an otherworldly light. Max and Leo approached it slowly, their hearts filled with wonder and awe. They had found it, the magical flower that could heal anything. The air grew damp and heavy, as if the jungle itself was breathing down their necks. Every step they took seemed to echo in the dense foliage, amplifying the sense of foreboding that hung in the air. The scent of moss and damp earth filled their nostrils, a constant reminder of the untamed wilderness around them. They reached a stream, its water murky and slow-moving, reflecting the dark canopy above. It was aptly named Shadow Creek, for the sun never seemed to reach its murky water. The creek was a lifeline for the jungle, yet it held an eerie stillness that made the hairs on the back of their necks stand up. Suddenly, the silence was shattered by an unexpected noise. It was as if the jungle itself had come alive, breaking the stillness with a cacophony of sounds. A low hiss broke out, followed by another and another. The sounds seemed to come from all directions, surrounding them in a symphony of menace. Several pairs of yellow eyes glinted menacingly from the shadows, each pair a silent sentinel watching their every move. The eyes seemed to multiply, creating an unsettling feeling of being outnumbered. Out of the darkness emerged creatures with slimy scales, sharp claws, and hissing tongues. These were no ordinary lizards. They were the guardians of Shadow Creek, fierce and unyielding. They were huge lizards, their bodies camouflaged against the dark rocks. Their scales blended seamlessly with the surroundings, making them nearly invisible until they moved. Max and Leo were surrounded. The lizards closed in, their hisses growing louder and more threatening. There was no escape route in sight, and the tension was palpable.
Whoa, Leo, look out! Max shouted, his voice tinged with panic. The lizards were closing in fast, and they had to act quickly.
Max grabbed a fallen branch and swung it at the closest lizard. The branch connected with a thud, and the lizard hissed in pain, momentarily stunned by the unexpected attack. It hissed and backed away, momentarily stunned. But the respite was brief, as the other lizards continued their advance, undeterred by their comrade's setback.
Stay back, Max, Leo shouted, his voice a mix of fear and determination. He knew they had to hold their ground or they would be overwhelmed.
Leo roared, his deep voice echoing through the jungle, scaring the other lizards. The roar was a primal sound, filled with the raw power of a creature fighting for survival. They used the opportunity to escape. With the lizards momentarily distracted, Max and Leo sprinted through the jungle, their hearts pounding in their chests. They didn't stop until they were far from Shadow Creek, the memory of the encounter etched in their minds. After their narrow escape, Max and Leo rested by a waterfall, catching their breath. A flash of bright blue and yellow caught Max's eye. It was a parrot, perched on a branch above them.
Lost, are you?
The parrot squawked, tilting its head.
Beware the keeper of the valley.
Max was taken aback. This parrot could speak.
Do you know about Ebon Valley?
The parrot, Coco, nodded.
The keeper guards it fiercely. Turn back while you still can.
Max hesitated. Should they turn back? But he had come so far. And what if the legend was true? The thought of the magical flower spurred him on. Following Coco's directions, they finally reached Ebon Valley. A dense fog hung low, shrouding the valley in an eerie silence. The air felt heavy, almost suffocating. The trees were gnarled and twisted, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. Strange, luminous plants grew in the dim light, casting an unnatural glow.
This place, it feels so different.
Max felt a chill run down his spine. This place felt different, ancient and powerful. The air itself seemed to hum with unseen energy. Leo walked close to Max, sensing the change in the atmosphere. He growled softly, his instincts on high alert.
Stay close, Max. We need to be careful.
Max and Leo stepped cautiously into the thick, swirling mist. The silence was broken only by the sound of their own breathing and the beating of their hearts. Suddenly, the mist parted before them. A pair of glowing eyes appeared, fixed on them with an intensity that sent shivers down Max's spine. A low, menacing growl echoed through the valley. The keeper of the valley awaited them.
Leo, do you see that over there?
Yes, Max. Stay behind me, please.
To be continued. Stay tuned.